My name is Benita Gupta, and I'm presenting my project, Incorporating Sign Language Naturally in the Classroom, as part of my fall project for the course EDU T522. So let's start with the problem. Deaf students often feel marginalized in the public mainstreamed classroom in the US, and mainstreamed means a non-specialized school. They know a different language, ASL or American Sign Language, that's different than the mainstream, which is spoken English. Let's take a look at some research that suggests that this problem truly does exist. In his paper, Disrupting Phonocentrism for Teaching Deaf Pupils, Anthony Maher notes the dangers of phonocentrism, or an over-reliance on spoken language and word, which is that it is cultural bias toward hearing and speech that results in phonocentrism, and in turn, deaf people experience symbolic forms of violence. This happens in part due to the lack of recognition of legitimacy of sign language, and the underuse of nonverbal modes of communication in the classroom. Thus, there is a need for us to investigate non-phonocentric forms of communication in education and in classrooms. To help understand how I wanted to tackle this problem, I conducted 3 interviews with Denise, Allison, and Jock. Denise helped me understand that it's very important for deaf students to be able to see signing very clearly in the classroom. Allison helped me understand that it's important to dynamically include deaf students in the classroom and not just rely on flat representations. And Jock taught me that it is possible for teachers to sign and lecture at the same time to include deaf students more actively. From these conversations, I gleaned that the major construct was inclusion. I started to develop some theories of action, such as, if teachers incorporate some form of basic ASL into their lessons, then deaf students will see their language represented and thus feel more included and engaged. On the hearing student side, if teachers incorporate ASL into their lessons, hearing students will have more exposure to sign language, and sign language will become more normalized in the mainstream classroom. In addition, hearing students will also learn some basic ASL through osmosis during these lessons. For my theories of action, I then developed my micro-MVP. First, the teacher learns maybe 2 to 3 signs before the class begins. Then, during the lesson, the teacher sprinkles in a couple signs. This does not have to be a direct translation of the whole lesson. Next, the student signs back whenever they see the sign being performed by the teacher. From this, the students then learn a few signs, and ultimately, students and teachers both feel more comfortable signing, not only formally in lessons, but also in informal side conversation. Now it was time to gather evidence. I had Doc sprinkle in a couple of signs during our EDU T522 class, and 2 students noted that they observed Doc signing. One student noted that she saw the sign that Doc made for question and actually reproduced the sign on her own without me even prompting. A week later, Doc said that he still uses the signs for group in question because it just became natural. However, one student noted that she did not see any signing. This prompted me to run a second trial run with Jock, a different professor, and this time with a visual reminder at the back of the classroom, aka writing the word question at the back of the class, which is the sign that was being incorporated. In this run, students noticed that he was gesturing, but they couldn't recall the sign. This led me to revise again, and this time try a call and response style. In this revision, I had students sign back when they saw a sign. In this iteration, Allison, a student, recalled lots of signs, including time, work, football, study, and cat on her own. 2 other students recalled lots of other signs in another trial run, including more complex signs like friend, house, class, teacher, and late. I tried another last run with another student, Abigail, who also was able to recall every sign correctly. If you're still not convinced, let's take a look at some video evidence. I had a conversation with Priyanka in which I sprinkled in 5 signs. Let's watch a video where Priyanka tries to recall them.
So I remember house.
Nice.
I remember class. I think this is friend.
Close, yeah?
No, this is friend. Something like that was teacher.
Yeah.
This was late.
And that's it. Yeah, those were the only ones. Now let's watch as I have a conversation with another classmate, Abigail, and have them recall the signs afterwards too.
Hey Abigail, so today I had a really hard day. I just have so much work. It's so much. I've been kind of tired. I've been going home late every day, and I'm just really excited for the weekend.
Do you recall the sign I did for the word late?
I think.
Do you recall the sign I did for the word work? I hope that evidence was enough to convince you that ASL should be incorporated into the classroom naturally. Thank you for watching!